Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. I'm Pat Baer, and I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And we're going to start things off by me throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with any combination of those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi, you can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything, well, you just go ahead and lurk. That's also okay and would be nice. Tonight's, Ristfan is here. Hello, Ristfan. Tonight's plan is to continue working on the Sword Impulse Gundam High Grade. This is not the premium Bandai version that came out much later. This is not the real grade, which I have heard very good things about, but have never built. Lashbrook's here. Hello, Lashbrook. I hear good things about. I hear that's one of the good real grades that I have. One of the few real grades I haven't built. I hear good things. But yeah, working on the high grade of this. Never worked on an Impulse, this Gundam Seed, Destiny. It doesn't really have a transformation so much as it's got like parts can be removed, and it's got like 3 modes because it's got a cockpit thing with the backpack, and then the other parts of it kind of have a transformation. It's a whole thing with the show, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's got big swords, and I like that. So we're going to work on that tonight. We're going to talk about a bunch of wrestling and video games and the second episode of Dan to Dan, which wasn't as bonkers as the first episode of Dan to Dan, but still had its moments for sure. And we'll talk through that and then a manga that I've been reading. Let's go to the overhead. We got a few people here tonight. Welcome to everybody who's here. Here we go. You can see the top half of the Sword Impulse is done. The bottom half we are working on. We're going to add some stickers right at the start of the stream, which is the best for me personally. Your friend Pat. When I have to apply stickers, I would always prefer to do it early in the stream as opposed to late in the stream. So we'll just kind of get things going here, and that'll be fun. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm doing just fine. Had a busy day today. So I had 3 videos to record. Now, 2 of those videos, you may be thinking, Pat, I bet you recorded a couple of your Kuma Baer videos. And those videos are under a minute long. So like, how much actual effort is that? And the answer to that is like, not as much as, other people when they're putting together their hour-long videos and all that. I'm not saying that I'm doing more work than other people. I am merely saying that it does require work because every Kuma Baer video, most Kuma Baer videos are the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th take because I do have a script. I do have an idea of what I'm going to say, but I need to say it in under a minute because that is the current maximum length of YouTube shorts. They are going to be extended, but we don't know when. They will be extended at some point. So I need to say everything I need to say. I can do my intro, my outro, the name of the show, where you can stream it currently, if it's subbed or dubbed, and then why I think someone should watch it or why I like it. And I want to say all that in under a minute. And it's... Now, could I take a video that I have made and edit it? Yes, I've done that once before. I've edited out like 6 or 7 seconds in order to make the video under a minute. The problem with that is that I have an animated GIF looping above me in the video because it's to draw the eye to give you some sense of at least a small amount of what the show is about, and to have some movement in the screen or on the video that isn't just me talking into a microphone to give it a little bit more life to the video. So if I edit like a couple seconds out of the middle of the video, then the animated loop that I am presenting shifts. And I don't want that. I think you could probably understand why I wouldn't want that to happen in the video. So I don't want that to be the case. So instead, I just have to edit myself over and over and over again until I get it right, and I get it within the minute. Now, if I could edit something out of the front or the back of the video, it would be fine. But the problem is the front and the back of the video is me introducing what the thing is, and then saying goodbye and reminding people that this is an ongoing series. So I can't really edit that. I did that once fairly recently where I cut out the outro. Or no, I cut out the intro, sorry. So I didn't say, hey, Harold, welcome. I didn't say, I'm Pat Baer and this is Kuma Baer, your weekly anime recommendation. I just went right into the thing after the edit. Because that was for roots. My next life as a villainess. All routes lead to doom. I, for the life of me, could not get what I wanted to say out in under a minute for that video. I just couldn't do it. So anyway, I recorded 2 videos. There are 5 Wednesdays this month. I was going to do the third one. I had other things to do. I didn't get to it. The other thing that I did today was record the upcoming Monday's episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club, which is my ongoing anime long-form series that comes out every other Monday. And because the season is new, I, of course, spent this upcoming video talking about all of the isekai that are out this season. There are 7. Which is 1 less than last season. And if you're like, oh, Pat, does that mean there's a decline in isekai, or is the long international nightmare over? Short answer, probably not. Long answer, I talk about it in the video. But just know that the fall anime season is always when there are the least amount of isekai. Why? I don't know. But that's true. Winter and spring have more than summer and fall when it comes to isekai. 2 years ago, 2022, there were only 5 isekai in the fall season. Coincidentally, I should say, not consequently, coincidentally, fall 2022, or around that, was when 2022 was when I started actually doing this thing every season where I talk about all the isekai and if I'm going to watch them or not. So yeah, I made that video, recorded that, haven't uploaded that. I got to do that tonight. And then the big project I had today, which continues tomorrow, is carpet cleaning, deep carpet cleaning. My neighbors, who are friends with my folks, are out of town, and I have been hired. I do generally for free, and then they give me a gift, take care of the fish. This time around, on their current vacation, I don't have much to do. They're in a cycle where they only have 2 fish. They have a timed feeder. There's no extras. So mostly I'm just making sure that the feeder is been refilled. And then also I make sure that the water that will, circulates through, and I refill the water tank up, which I will do without any problem. So I have been asked to do that. Let's see. Okay, I need 2 of these here. We're working on the feet now. We are done with the waist, and now we can move on to the feet. So we'll do some stickers. Stickers are done for now, and now we can work on some feeders. Anyway, beyond taking care of their fish, I have been asked, and I will be paid for my work, to use their carpet cleaner to clean 2 of their carpets, because it makes sense. Like, plenty of time for them to do a proper cleaning, and then they'll be out of town, so they won't have to be around for all that, sleep in another room, anything like that, because you want to give the carpet plenty of time to get to dry out. So I went and did that today. I went and did 2 of their rooms, ran the carpet cleaner, ran a vacuum, ran the carpet cleaner, and then ran the vacuum again after it had dried, just to get up whatever other junk that may have come up. Thoroughly cleaned the cleaner, because that's something you got to do. You got to clean the cleaner. That is a thing that people forget when it comes to cleaning products, is that you do have to clean the devices up. and then carted it over here because tomorrow I will be doing my parents' bedroom, and this very bedroom, I have to do it on, because like, you know, at first I was like, I could do this all in one day, but that would have had to be a day where I don't stream. Because that's a major component to this is, I have to do it when I don't have a stream that night, because I want to what I want to do is do my parents' bedroom to give them the most time for that to dry, so they don't have to sleep in a different room. And then I have to move a lot of stuff out of this room, and then clean this room and vacuum underneath all the stuff that I have to move out of this room, and then clean the carpets. And so the plan is that I will be sleeping in the office, because there is a day bed in the office. So I'll be sleeping in the office. And then Monday, I have to move everything back into this room and reassemble my computer and all that, and then get ready to stream again. And also, I have to recenter the overhead camera, or this camera here. This camera, hello, there it is. Because, you know, I'm going to be tearing down my setup. So I'm going to have to put the setup back together and do all that stuff. And it'll work out just fine. There is a way where I can move all this stuff out of here, but leave my camera where it is. And I am deeply, earnestly considering doing that. And I might end up doing that. I might just leave the table that this camera is attached to in this room and work around it. I think that would probably be smarter than moving every single thing out of this room. But I will have to reset my computer and reset it all up and I'm going to have to do a lot of work, basically, is what I'm saying. And so that's tomorrow. So that way I can reset up. Now, I could set up all my stuff. I could have done this on a day where I was going to stream. But then I would still have to set up all my gear in another room and stream in that room. And that is going to take a long time anyway. So I might as well just mix things up. And tomorrow I am dedicating basically the whole day to do both. It did not take me too long. I did a very good job at my neighbors because they have asked me to do this job. So I wanted to do it right. Because I gave it the vacuum, the cleaning, and then the vacuum. So I really put my all into it, cleaning everything up. Got a good amount of gunk out of there. Got a couple stains up too. One stain just would not come up, but I did my best with it. That's all I can do. But yeah, I did a good job. But yes, so today was kind of busy because I had things I needed to do. All right, so this is going to be the second one. This is the first one. We'll keep this here. We can do this next part at the same time because they are all the same parts. A2, A9, and A5. Working on the feet here. Okay, so Wrestle Dream. Talk very briefly about Wrestle Dream. AEW's pay-per-view that is happening today, right now. During the course of it, there have been, I believe, 3 matches on the main card that have already happened, which I have not seen, but I did watch the pre-show. So tonight I'll give you my thoughts on the pre-show, and then on Monday I'll give you my thoughts on the main card. Opening match of the pre-show, there was 4. As of Tuesday, there was 1. 2 more had gotten added during Rampage, and then the 4th was announced during the pre-show. The 0 hour, which is, as many of you are aware, is an hour and a half. Brian Cage defeated Atlantis Jr. to become the newest Ring of Honor World Television Champion. That's right, Ring of Honor, who are not on TV. They're on their own streaming service, but they have had a TV title. They had a TV title when they didn't have a TV deal, so it is part of their history to just have the wrong fucking name. But yes, I did not predict this. This was my first wrong prediction of the night. So far, there have been a couple, but it was the only pre-show one I got wrong. Brian Cage just doesn't win, so it's kind of fun for him to win a thing. He'll do well with that belt. I apologize, first-time chatter. I do not know what you wrote. No, I have no idea what you're writing here. I apologize. The only language that I speak or read is English. I know about a dozen or so words in Spanish and maybe like 3 dozen in Japanese, but I do not speak the language that you are currently typing, so I apologize. And if you do not speak the language that I am speaking, then this is a waste of everyone's time. So yeah, I'm gonna, I don't know what to say. My apologies, but I don't know what you're writing. And, yeah, there is a language barrier here. My apologies to you. So yeah, Brian Cage winning is interesting. Atlantis Jr. Won the belt in CMLL in Mexico. And he does not lose that much in Mexico. He is much like his father, Atlantis, a guy that does not like to lose matches. So it's interesting that he lost on a pay-per-view. Brian Cage won a belt on a pay-per-view. That's good for him. I'm happy that he did, even if it was kind of out of nowhere, in my opinion. But maybe it's been building for a very long time on Ring of Honor, which I don't watch that often. Anna Jay defeated Harley Cameron in a short match. People were imagining that this match was going to, this like pre-show match was going to be Camille, the right-hand woman of Mercedes Moné, versus a Chris Statlander, because that is where suddenly the story is going, is that Chris was like, oh yeah, I'll fight you. Kind of out of nowhere, Chris Statlander is now a babyface again, seemingly out of nowhere. There was no blow off. There was kind of a video package that kind of explained it on Rampage. They didn't do a good job with it. It feels incredibly rushed and short-sighted. Folks are wondering if perhaps there was a falling out between Chris and Stokely Hathaway, because he's not turned babyface to be her manager. We don't know. Or perhaps Mercedes' next opponent was going to be Thunder Rosa, who is injured, I believe. So that it's possible, but again, just don't know. Just don't know what happened there. It's weird though. But that match isn't happening. Even though they were rushing to get to it, they are now they're slow playing it. And instead, Anna Jay, who had a fun stint in Stardom. It seems to be very beneficial to her. Had a great match. She's got a new finisher that looks like it fucking hurts her opponent a lot. And seemingly there's no good way to take that move where you don't land on your chest and or face. It's cool. I liked it. And good honor. That was a fun match. Harley Cameron is a fantastic heel. She's had like 15 wrestling matches ever. Like professional wrestling matches. Like, she's not an indie person that came in. She was like someone being trained who then, who originally was going to be a valet for people, but has had wrestling training. And every match she's in, she showcases that she knows exactly what she's doing. And it's wildly goddamn impressive to see her every time. Yeah, it was a great little match. The Acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Max Caster with Billy Gunn defeated MXM Collection, Mansoor and Mason Madden, with their mystery enforcer, Rico. Now, if you don't know who Rico is, this is not a young up-and-coming wrestler that you that they're like, oh, I know exactly who that is. Rico is a man in his 60s, but he doesn't look it, and he never did. Rico was the next big thing. Rico was the guy before the next big thing. He was the guy that Ohio Valley Wrestling, there was a graduating class where people were like, Rico is the big deal. This is the class with Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar later, but not really, but yes. But Rico was the guy. This is the guy that could move. He could talk on the microphone. None of those other dudes could fucking talk on the microphone, but he could. Rico could cut a promo. He could work in the ring. He worked different styles. He worked heel. He worked babyface. Everyone was fucking super psyched about Rico until they realized that Rico was in his 40s. He's early 40s in the 2000s, the mid 2000s when he broke in. Rico started wrestling late in life. And nobody liked that in WWE. And by nobody, I mean Vince McMahon didn't like that shit. So Rico, a very competent wrestler, came in as a wrestler / manager. And he won tag team title at one point. But he was primarily there to be the manager / beautician for Billy and Chuck. This is Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo, who had clearly fallen in love with each other and were a gay wrestling tag team. This is the early to mid 2000s, 2003, I would say. 2002, 2003. The joke was that they were gay. That was the joke. And they clearly were not gay men. This is a, unfortunately, long-standing wrestling trope of wrestlers using queer culture in order to get over. None of those guys were gay, and it was fun, quote unquote. It ended with them saying that Rico tricked them into pretending that they were gay, and it was a ploy, and they weren't gay. Because they were supposed to get married, but they didn't want to get married. And it sucked. And then they all got beat up because the person, yes, Chuck and Billy, yes. They were supposed to get married, but then the person marrying them was actually Eric Bischoff in old man makeup. And it's the only good age makeup I've ever seen in wrestling. It's great. He does a voice. You don't know it's Eric Bischoff. In a world where you can see through the bullshit, the fact that it was Eric Bischoff was genuinely impressive. That he was in disguise and actually like not letting the audience in on the joke in disguise. And then they all got beat up, which sucked. Really sucked. It was a bummer. So that was rough. So anyway, they brought in Rico because Rico and Billy have a history, and MXM are straight men who do characters that are flamboyant. They are playing up old stereotypes in a way that is not regressive. And they are heels in AEW, which is a shame. It would be much more fun if they weren't heels, if they were just playing up different avenues. But they are unfortunately heels in the company. Because like I said, I think it would be way more interesting if they weren't heels, but they are. They had a match. Rico got involved. It didn't work out for them. The Acclaimed are fucking boring. Please set Anthony Bowens free, who is, by the way, gay. Anthony Bowens, who has just been in so much weird, unforced errors in so many storylines. It's time to let that man free. Free him from Max Caster. The experiment is over. The Acclaimed were good and got real not good anymore, and it's time to let it go. And they don't seem to want to let it go, and it's a shame. I got no hate for MXM. They're doing good work. Again, like I said, they are playing with stereotypes in a way that is genuinely interesting to watch. And I like what they're doing. This wasn't it. Bringing in, like, great. They brought in Rico of all people. Like, cool. What? Yeah, I thought that was real bad. And then the final, which was advertised, it was not advertised early, and really feels like it was like a game time decision. Hey, we want to do this extra match for the pre-show. The Conglomeration and the Outrunners, named by RJ City as the Orange Runners, and named by Excalibur as the Conglomerunners. Conglomeration, in this case, being Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly, with Rocky Romero in their corner, with the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. They defeated the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, with Evil Uno in their corner, and the premier athletes, in this case, Daivari and Tony Nese, with Smart Mark Sterling and Josh Woods in their corner. That's right, one team had 3 managers running interference, and the other team had 1 guy helping out where he could. This match was really fun. It was a good time. It maybe shouldn't have been as long as it was, but it's really fun. Outrunners are so beloved, and they got over. If you have not seen the Outrunners, I would say please Google them. It's OUTRUNNERS, one word. The Outrunners, you can just do Outrunners AEW. They are legitimately a throwback gimmick. They are a throwback to 80s wrestlers, a pastiche of 80s wrestlers, right down to one guy's got a skullet. They're jacked and tanned, and they've got neon gear, and they say brother, and they have big sunglasses. They are doing that. They are living the gimmick, and it is very funny. The fact that they have had wins on TV, and now they have had a pre-show win, is very weird. But yeah, they're just like very committed, silly guys doing a fun bit. And I'm here for it. I'm very pleased with their success because it's earned and weird. They're, quote unquote, the youngest men alive. And I really enjoy it. I do wonder if their promos are actually taped on VHS and digitally converted, or if it's post-processing VHS effects have gotten that good. Yeah, I am fairly confident, Lashbrook, that is post-processing effects, that they are running through several filters. I do not believe that is recorded on a VHS recorder and then upgraded or upscaled or converted. I believe that is all post-processing. They just know what shots they need to make it look the way it looks. But yes, they've had some vignettes that seem to be from the 80s that are really well done. They're a very fun team. I'm happy for them. I feel like that match was thrown together so last minute that they forgot that after they got accosted and yelled at by Moxley backstage, that the Dark Order are baby faces again. I think it was forgotten, but whatever. People got on the card. It is weird not to have Orange Cassidy on a card because he's so hot right now in general as a wrestler at all times, constantly. So it is weird not to include Orange Cassidy somewhere. And then they got a tease there that Okada is being interviewed. He's not wrestling tonight. He got approached by Kyle O'Reilly with a challenge, and then he said, "No, bitch," because that's what Okada says. Heel Okada calls people bitches. And then Kyle hit him, and it looks like they're going to have a match at some point. But Kyle got himself ejected from the building. Okada might not be able to help out the Young Bucks in their tag match, but it also means that that Kyle won't be in the corner of Mark Briscoe, and you know that Chris Jericho is going to have a bunch of dumb learning tree folks fucking around, and maybe Rocky Romero will turn heel. I don't think he will, but he could. Rocky Romero could join the learning tree. It would be a weird thing, but he could do it. I hope he doesn't, but I don't know. I don't know what happens. I'm not watching the show. I'm doing this, so I don't even know. I have heard some of the results. I was wrong on one thing in a way that I'm very happy. I was right about one thing in a way that I'm very pleased about. And there's one result that I don't know yet, and I look forward to finding out. I don't think they're going to do it, but I have a weird hope that... Hello, Vicky. Welcome. I have a weird hope based on their sit-down interview with Renee Paquette that ran today. Private Party maybe could pull it off. Maybe Private Party is going to do the thing. They're going to win the tag belts off the Bucks. Don't think they're going to. But it would be awesome. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. All right, so now let's talk about some video game stuff. First and foremost, we do need to talk about this. Waypoint is back. That's right. Vice is a website that exists. They brought back their magazine. It's quarterly. And they're bringing back Waypoint. Because they own the name Waypoint, and it resonates with some people. As far as I can tell, there is currently one person who works for Waypoint right now, or at least writes for them. Dwayne Jenkins, who I do not know. I do not know anything about Dwayne. I cannot comment on Dwayne's anything. I've not read any of Dwayne's articles. So far, his articles are... let's see. I want Waypoint's return to be like the Silent Hill 2 remake. What do players see in Throne and Liberty? Let's find out. Paradox Interactive and the No Good, Rotten, Really Awful Year. Cringe as a Baldur's Gate 3 rookie ranks the Origin companions by the end of Act 1. And I still don't understand why Until Dawn needed a remake. So his first article is in order to introduce himself in some way and to reintroduce the fucking concept of, hey, we're bringing this shit back and I'm the guy doing that. I want Waypoint's return to be like the Silent Hill 2 remake. He also has an article that says, I still don't understand why Until Dawn needed a remake. And it's like, okay, dude, cool. Also, I understand that he does not have control in basically anything. This is just a person who works for this version of Vice that was tasked with a job and is doing a thing, right? So I get it. I understand it. But I would say, if you are going to say that you are bringing back a dead property that was beloved by a lot of people, and you are going to do it justice, and you are going to make Waypoint's return like the Silent Hill 2 remake, maybe you shouldn't have an article titled Cringe as a Baldur's Gate 3 rookie ranks the Origin companions by the end of Act 1. Because, like, there were articles. I'm not saying that they were the loftiest of lofty things, like lofty goal, as Lord Crescent says, that they were a pinnacle of the best, always the best reporting, and never stuff that was like, this is just interesting to us, so we're going to talk about it. But I will say that generally, Waypoint didn't point the finger at someone and go, laugh at this person, unless that person was the leader of a games company or the CEO of a place that was acting like an asshole. This is just a person making a video. And they're like, hey, cringe at this person's content. And it's like, immediately go fuck yourself. You have immediately told me who you are. Also, holy shit. How many articles were posted here? All these articles were posted yesterday. Yesterday saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 articles. Also, not the spirit of Waypoint is 7 articles in 2 days written by 7 articles in 2 days written by one person. If you want a free Assassin's Creed game, Ubisoft is hosting a giveaway. All this sucks. It just sucks. Again, smarter people than me, certainly more kind people than me have said all of this here, that this is awful, and Waypoint was a special place that succeeded despite who owned it and their general dislike of it and their non-support of it. But the people that worked there on the ground cared about it and cared about what they were trying to do. And all of this feels very weird and strange. It's just like a lot of strange choices to bring it back. And you're like, why would they even bother? And the answer to that is unfortunately money. Now, not the money. This is conjecture on my part. What I'm about to say here is complete conjecture. I don't know anything. But it feels to me like bringing back things that people liked about Vice is not to have people who liked Vice to give it a second chance, to be like, hey, come here and see what's up. This is not for diehard old school fans of it. To me, this is, let's get people who know what Vice is, but don't remember, haven't walked that in a long time, and certainly don't know that everyone there got laid off and they sold the name, and a bunch of people that worked there never got their severance, or even, and all of that because of bankruptcy and all that stuff. We own the name of it. Let's just do the things. And then you put in this case, not even a fresh coat of paint. It's still just Waypoint. It is hoping that you didn't notice that you don't notice that it goes from an article in 2024 from someone you don't recognize to, and then beyond those 7 articles, it's an article from 2023 because Waypoint didn't even have a goodbye message because they all got laid off. With no notice. So they didn't even get, there's no tearful goodbye. They're just gone. Yes, they're still waiting for their severance. Maybe they'll get it now that they're seemingly investing money in the business. But really, to me, this is to boost for a future sale. This is, we own these brands. Maybe people don't know who wrote for Motherboard, and we can bring back Motherboard and bring back all these things. It's like, let's see if any of this sticks. And if it does, it'll be great when we sell this to someone else and offload it. And maybe we can get some AI articles up there. Again, conjecture on my part. Get some AI articles up there. Get a bunch of content up there. Sell some ad revenue. Make some ad money. And all of that, and we'll see what happens. Hey, didn't we own a service where the people paid us extra money? What happened to that? Oh, we sold that to the people we laid off because we couldn't offer a competing service, and that was part of so we had to do something. We either need to make content, but which we couldn't, or we had to get rid of it, and so we got rid of it. Okay, well, shit. I guess we'll figure that out later. We'll figure out podcasts later. The new guy's going to earn it for them, sir. I mean, the new guy's just going to do his job, which is shit. And look, I have been in a position where I have been under employed for a very long time. I understand picking up a paycheck, especially, hey, you write about games and game culture. You want to do a job. You want a gig that will be steady for X amount of time. Who the fuck knows how long, but like an amount of time that job, it will exist. Like, yeah, I understand. At the very least, there's lip service that he understands what he is doing. In which case, maybe don't do it, or pretend like you're just like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, this was a thing. I don't know. But it's been said by many people that one of the reasons why, a major reason why Waypoint succeeded for several reasons, as much as it did. And obviously, it didn't succeed so much that it could survive long term. But one of the reasons why it lasted as long as it did was because the people who worked there cared very fucking much about it and worked very hard on it. I got one of the wrong pieces here, so I have to figure out which one I need. B7 and B1. One of these is wrong, and I need to figure out which one it is. It's B. B7. I need B7, and then the other one will go on the other foot. But it was people, and they liked the people. Now, part of the reason why Waypoint succeeded as much as it did was because of the community, and the community was built by the people that were looking for that liked Patrick, that liked Danielle at ZAM, that and the various places she worked in Polygon, that liked Austin and the work he did, that were intrigued by the idea of Austin Walker being the editor-in-chief of a website, that maybe had their feelings on, various feelings on what was going to happen with it being part of Vice, but we're like, oh, I'll go along for the ride. Patrick will be able to do news, and of course that evolved into, they thought they were going to focus on the website, and then it became a podcasting business and live streaming stuff, but they got to do a bunch of things they wanted to do, and it was a solid team. Danica brought a lot of goodwill in the beginning of Waypoint, because she was one of the social media people at Crunchyroll who was accessible. For better or worse, Danica, part of her idea of social media, as she learned it, was to be out there and be a presence on the internet. And so, she had a lot of goodwill coming in to that job. There were a lot of positives that came in with that. And I could see people who are on Vice's website reading articles on Waypoint. Like, I don't think it's going to be dead in the water, no one looking at this website anymore. But it's a fucking hard sell. It's a very goddamn hard sell to be like, yeah, dude, check it out. Waypoint's back. Is it? Is it? Is it? I don't know if it is. So, yeah, I don't know. Fucking, I hope people who get their severance and get fucking paid, and really sucks. I look forward to the next episode of Remap Radio, because I'm sure they'll have things to fucking say. Hey, I've got some information to you. Announcements of two new studios. From the wake of the dissolvement of a bunch of people that worked for ZAM, the folks that ran Disco Elysium, the collective that wasn't a collective anymore, was treated like a collective but wasn't, depending on who you talk to and how much you listen to them, had a bunch of stuff go wrong with it. Anyway, it imploded. A lot of high-profile staff left, and then a bunch of other people came in. There was some legal trouble with the government for its status and for a bunch of other things. It's a whole goddamn mess. But anyway, there are 2 new studios from the ashes. Dark Math Games and Longdew Games. These were both announced around yesterday. Dark Math Games and Longdew Games. Longdew is 12 people, including some producers from Disco Elysium, some devs from Rockstar and Bungie, and they are doing what they're calling a spiritual successor to Disco Elysium. Dark Math is a good name. We started here with Longdew. They put a concept art out, and they're doing a psychogeographic RPG. Now, meanwhile, Dark Math Games are working on a true detective RPG, so also a spiritual successor to Disco Elysium, seems like, entitled XXX Night Shift. They are a 20-person team, half of which, according to them, contributed to Disco Elysium. And the trailer looked a lot like the other game. And the art director, Timo Albert, talked a little bit about it. Now, this is amidst the news that there are a lot of layoffs at ZAM. So you could see a lot of people who are being laid off, maybe being approached. This coming out there, but these have been in development for a bit. These are like planned out, at least. These ideas were there. Should say that neither Robert Kurvitz, who is the lead writer and designer of Disco Elysium, or Alexander Rostov, the game art director, they're not at either studio. They're at a group called Red Info, and they're working on a game. Update about another game studio from the ashes of Disco Elysium. Co-founder Argo Tulik has a art collective RPG studio named Summer Eternal. So this is the third announced yesterday, the 4th studio that spun off. But again, this is from the one of the co-founders of it. Or one of the co-founders of the company. It was a writer on Disco Elysium. They have another writer from there. They've got a voice actor from the game. They've got some writers and some concept artists and graphic designers. This seems very new, and seems very weird. And I don't know if they're going to actually make anything. This one, Summer Eternal, sounds like what they wanted the Studio ZAM to be, and more of a collective and a weird thing where people can come in and bring projects and they can do a bunch of work on things, and who knows if they make any money. It seems a little off in a good way. They'll have freelancers and part-time collaborators, and even a player ownership of a game studio and a dev diary to be transparent. But yeah, basically, earlier this year, 24 employees got laid off at ZAM, and then more people are probably getting laid off. A bunch of people left in 2022 or kicked out in 2022. So yeah, there are 4 studios that came out of one studio, which, like, as someone in the creative arts space in New York, that checks out. As someone who worked at a studio, worked at a theater that was from another theater, and then in the time that I worked at a theater, there was a rival theater that opened up, and then a bunch of people from that rival theater spun off their own theater, and then meanwhile, other people who were from the original theater started their other own theater, and then that had a spin-off theater. And then there was another group from Chicago that came here to run a theater, and then that dissolved, and then 3 theaters came out of that theater. This is all very like, yep, this is the art collective side of ZAM, like bearing fruit, where it's like all these people were brought together and then they're all going their separate ways, but all taking lessons they learned on this, and then also hopefully getting some talent and interest on that. All of these studios born out of ZAM were going to enter the game industry battle royale to see who remains as the one true successor. Here's the thing, Lord Crashers, there's plenty of room for a lot of... Here's the thing. There's plenty of room for a lot of people saying, hey, I want to make a game that's inspired by my time working on Disco Elysium. And it's like, yeah, awesome. Please do. That would be great. I wish you the best. Good luck on the project. I wish you well, and I hope that things go... very well for all of these studios. It's cool. Small update. Steam Deck coming to Australia this November. Apparently you've not been able to just buy a Steam Deck with Australian shipping. The original and the OLED iterations. But yeah, they've been slowly, putting them up places, but now you can get it. Now the Steam Deck is available in many countries, and that's great. Great for Australian fans that want a handheld that can play their PC games. So Xbox put out a couple of like small details that came up, which is interesting. One is you can buy, soon you'll be able to, on Android, buy Xbox games and then have them load on your Xbox on an Android phone. This is apparently due to a U.S. court ruling on Google that they had to open up their store more. We don't know if this is going to be outside the United States, but right now it is the case in the United States. But yeah, players will be able to play and purchase... play as well. Xbox games directly from the Xbox App Store on Android. Short little thing. That's cool. If you have an Android phone and an Xbox, you can now play your games on there through the app, or buy them and then have them download on your home thing. They had to import them until now. Oh, yes. In Australia, they were importing the Steam Decks and paying tariffs and very high shipping rates, and now they'll be in their native, and then also paying in other currency and having to change that over. Let's see. First announced years ago, the ability to begin streaming games you own on Xbox but aren't part of Game Pass will go into test. As it was previously, you could only stream in games that are on Game Pass. Now, if it's a game you own, but you don't want to keep it on your PC, or your Xbox, not your PC, you don't want to keep it on your Xbox, but you do want to have access to it now and again, you can now, you'll be able to beta test that. But like Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, the expanding of cloud gaming features are going to go into live tests for members of Xbox Insider next month. So it's not coming to everybody, but it'll be there. And this has been something that they've been teasing for years. Slow going. Yeah, I don't think I have any other gaming news here. Yeah, we got all those news. Edward Scissorhands is in Fortnite for the Halloween stuff. If that appeals to you. After the 24-hour delay, we got Edward Scissorhands, Leatherface, Cruella de Vil, Billy the Puppet from Saw. And then you can also have usable chainsaws. I don't know. That's fun. Leatherface in there. I don't know. All of it is weird. None of it is surprising. Everything that gets announced for as being part of Fortnite, none of it surprises me anymore. All of it makes me just go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah, you do that. Oh yeah, you have that. Like all of it just washes over me now. It's all content. Can I cut watermelons with the chainsaw? Lord Crashy did. Unfortunately, I do not have an answer for you on that one. I assume yes, but that'll you'll have to tune in for that or play it yourself. I don't fucking know. But yeah, unfortunately, cannot answer that. Do not have that information presently. We will take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel, and then we'll get into a manga that I read, a manga that I completed, the very rare manga review where I have read the whole thing. That generally doesn't happen. Usually it's just 12 or 13 chapters of a manga. It's funny to me that Marvel Comics Mephisto is in Fortnite now. Oh, okay. All right. The devil's in the details. We'll talk about that manga. We'll talk about the second episode of Dan to Dan, which again is not as cursed in some ways as the first episode, but also what was still wild and cool. It did unfortunately involve a CGI monster that did not always look good, which is a shame, but also I understand. It did involve a transformation that I did think looked fucking rad. We'll get to it when we get to it. So it was not all bad, but it didn't have. It did unfortunately involve some art that I didn't love. I wish that it didn't, but that's unfortunately the way of the world, is to outsource some CGI stuff in your digital anime that doesn't always look good. I should say here, I don't know why this is happening, but fireworks were going off in my neighborhood. No idea why that would be. Could not answer that if you're asking. I do not have an answer to that. I simply know that it is happening. And I'll tell you this. I don't like that. Not a fan of that shit. Don't know why they're doing it. Wish they fucking weren't. I very much, wholeheartedly wish that they weren't. Celebrating America, Pat. Because, is it early Columbus Day celebration? Because that's Monday, right? Indigenous People Day, depending on where you live in America. They're slowly doing it. It's not a national thing, but it's picking up steam. But, are you celebrating Columbus Day on Saturday? Is that what's happening? Don't like it. Don't get it. Don't need it. Fuck Christopher Columbus, as they say. Didn't discover shit. Ended up in the wrong place. Named the wrong thing. National Gumbo Day. All right, Lord Crash, then I understand. If it's National Gumbo Day, then thank you, Gumbo. Thank you, Gumbo. I've never said that before. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you. That's right, you. About ways that you can support the channel. Everything I'm going to talk about here is optional. You're under no obligation to do any of these things. I don't demand it. I don't expect it. But if you wanted to, that's cool. If you are currently a subscriber to the Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat if you're a Tier 2 subscriber, and let the people know that you don't see ads during the pre-roll. You don't see, you don't have to worry about that. You get cool emotes that you can show off in the chat, and you're supporting me directly, which is nice. I like that. If you want to become a subscriber, now would be a great time to do that. Do I have the thing about subscribers? Did I save that? Yes. Reminder that if you wanted to subscribe, to do it through the website and not through the Twitch app. If you're watching this on Twitch, don't do that. Instead, follow the link in your browser and do it there. So you don't have to pay the iOS tax, which is great, the mobile tax. And hey, If you wanted to gift a sub, there's no gifted subs this month. If you want to be at the top of the gift sub leaderboard, you can gift a sub to someone in the community. That would be very kind of you to do that. You could cheer like Harold did and be in the cheer leaderboard. That's another way to support what I do here. And there are other ways. And again, I'm going to go through these optional ways. You could go to patreon.com/PatBaer. Over on my Patreon, I have a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider, if you will, to join me here on Patreon. And see if there's a tier that's right for you. Over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. Of course, subscribing to my YouTube is free, and I would love it if you could. We had a little bump in subscribers since some of my Kuma Baer videos have done well, but we could always use more. So I'd love to have you over there on the YouTube channel. And there's memberships over on YouTube. For just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday, so you get to see them early. Like I said, Kuma Baer is that project, and you can check that out. And thank you for doing that. Now, those are all monthly ways to support me. If you just want to do a one-time donation to my PayPal or my Ko-Fi as a tip, you want like a tip jar kind of thing, you could do that. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I buy model kits. I have a backlog of kits. I just bought 2 kits today. 2 very fun kits that were... Hey, Harold just cheered 15 bits. Thank you very much, Harold. Be like Harold. Like anyone could step to this. Well, similar, you know what I mean. No one's coming from the for the throne. But cha-ching. Thank you very much, Harold. Appreciate it. Bits are always appreciated from anybody. Ooh, my balance is good. Okay, great. We are a quarter of the way there for me getting my next payout from Google AdSense. I have $24 right now, so it's $1 less than that. But whatever, we're on our way to get some good payout, which I will use to buy model kits. Like I said, I bought some model kits today because there was a free shipping deal going on at USA Gundam Store. So I ordered 2 model kits that were on sale and old and kind of cheap. One of which I've been looking for. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I have a backlog of some kits. I would be happy to build those kits. We'll get into them. If you want to decide what I build next, there is one way to do that, and that is to buy something from my Amazon wish list. If you buy something from my wish list, it'll jump the queue. I'll make a dedicated video for my YouTube channel about the thing that you purchased, and you'll know that you get to see the thing that I built. Hopefully you'll feel good about it. And like I said, it'll jump the queue. I have Lego sets. I got model kits. I do want to point out that I do have on my wish list the shrimp version of a sushi model kit. That's a weird thing. I would be happy to build that. That's on the wish list. I recently just added something today. Oh, knockoff Lego I put in there. I got some knockoff Lego in there. Where is it? It's I recently added the Jin High Maneuver from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed that looks pretty cool. That's like a green kit. Green is not a color you see a lot on Gundams and mobile suits, so happy for that. But yeah, I got model kits, I got Lego sets, I got inexpensive kits, expensive kits, some gear at the bottom of the list because maybe you want to help me out and you're like, I don't know, Pat, I could buy you new headphones in case these headphones go out on you. It's like, yeah, that'd be great. But yeah, if you see something there you'd like to see me build, feel free to pick it up. I would love it. You get a dedicated YouTube video, it jumps the queue. I have a throne wish list that is my alternative to Amazon because it's nice to have some alternatives. So see if something there that you'd like to purchase. And then again, the most convoluted way to support me is to go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They will send you an email with that gift card code. Then you can take that gift card code and send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or a private chat on Blue Sky or a private mention on Mastodon with that gift card code. And And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. Like I said, I just bought stuff today. I buy stuff from there a bunch. If you bought me a gift card to USA Gundam Store, like this weekend, I would be able to have free shipping on whatever I bought. So that's kind of neat. But you don't have to. But you can. You can. If you want to support, and I have a Discord. So if you want to support me and not spend any money, you can join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. My Discord is nice, and it would be great to have you. What else can I say? Save the date. Please save the date. November 2nd. I'm doing a fundraiser for Extra Life. More details soon, but it'll start early. But it will be a Saturday night stream. I don't know exactly when I'm starting, but it will be a Saturday night, and I will be raising money for Extra Life, and I'll have more details soon. It will involve a wrestling video game, because that works for me. It may or may not. It will also involve this charity stream that I'm doing. Will also involve me if I hit certain donation goals. Reading from a selection of the best and worst wrestling promos of all time. Will I do Steiner math if we get enough money? Will I do something from Sid Vicious? Rest in peace. Psycho Sid? I probably will do something for Psycho Sid. Will I do an Eddie Kingston promo about his demons know how to swim? Maybe. I would love to try to dramatically do an Eddie Kingston promo. So that, yeah, there'll be some incentives and some wrestling video game stuff. That's November 2nd. It's a Saturday. Instead of model kit building, I'll be fundraising for Extra Life. More details soon, but I wanted you to save the date. I got a couple of video links for you to check out. I will have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club up on Monday, but the current episode that is up is my summer wrap-up / fall preview. If you missed it, it's a long video, but if you want to watch it, I would love it if you did. And then my weekly anime recommendation series, Kuma Baer, is I talked about Dungeon People. It was one of my favorite shows from last season, the summer season. One of the best shows that I feel like people overlooked. And so I wanted to showcase it by talking about what a lovely series it is. So watch that 1-minute video to hear me talk about that, talk it up. All right, so the plan is I'm going to talk about a manga that I have been reading, that I'm done reading because I read all of it. And then we'll talk about an anime that I watched, and we'll get all to that. We're going to keep working on the legs here, work on our model kit. See if we can body complete this kit and then move on to the weapons and backpack and all that. I don't think we're going to wrap up this kit tonight, but we're going to get a lot done. And then I know what I'm building on Monday, so we'll be able to get going on that. All right. So at this point, I am going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera, and I am going to drink some water right now. Water. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Let's keep working on this model kit here. And while I talk to you about my role as the Villainess is over, which is a manga that I have completed. I can give you the full review of this manga. This is a isekai. And it is a somewhat rare isekai where this actually happens a lot more in the I've been summoned, the summoned style of isekai. You often do know why. The I died and I got reincarnated somewhere. Generally, you don't always know what happened there. But in this case, we do. So there is a fantasy world. And the goddess there, the creator god there, can't interfere in the story, but things are fucked up. There is the prince is not with the woman that he's meant to be with, the saint. The crown prince and the saint need to get together. And the goddess is stuck because she can't, because of shenanigans and her own abilities in that world, she can't directly interfere. but she can interfere in our world, and she does. We've got a girl named Lena, and Lena's sister is sick. Lena's sister has a terminal illness. We don't know exactly what it's called, but it's a terminal illness. She's going to die. In an effort to save her sister's life, Lena agrees to be reborn in another world as, you guessed it, the Villainess. She will take over the role of a girl who will one day mistreat the future Saintess and send her into the arms of a prince and bring prosperity to the world and fucking fix it. She's going to fix the world by doing this. And she does. She does her role beautifully. The manga, I should say, picks up as she succeeded. And her plan through all of this is, well, I'm going to be disowned as a duchess. It doesn't matter. My sister is safe. I'll never see her again, but it's all worth it. You know, I win in the end. And, you know, I have my magic abilities and I can start over somewhere. And, you know, normally people would think, oh, you're a duchess, you're not going to be able to survive. But of course, she'll be fine because she had a life as a commoner before this. So she's got, you know, she's got experience doing that. She thinks she'll be okay. But she is not banished. She's expecting that she'll be banished because, so she's a villainess. She was just mean and cruel. Which, you know, it's still not good, but she wasn't like plotting to destroy anyone. She was just unbefitting of the next queen. So she gets stripped of being a duchess and she thinks she's going to get banished, but no, she's going to be work in the castle. They are punishing her by having her work in the castle as a maid. And people are kind of like, ha ha ha, yeah, now let's see how you do. And turns out, she does really well. One of the reasons why she thought she would be fine is, one of her abilities as a holdover from her previous life is, our main character, when she sees anything once, she can master it. So she's a very competent maid. So she's just like, okay, I guess I'll just do this. And like, it takes a long time before other people kind of find out what she's up to. She stops the head maid who is pulling some bullshit and is making people's life really hard. And that person gets ousted. So all the maids rally around her. She comes across a member of the Royal Knights, who is the childhood friend of our prince, and so he's like kind of holding it over her. He was really disappointed with her because she's always been clever, and he didn't understand why she was acting like an asshole. But then he's kind of trying to figure out what's going on with her, but he realizes like, hey, wait, not only are you not like this villainess anymore, you're also not like the other person I knew before you became a villain. Which one is the real you? And they kind of slowly develop feelings for one another, because this is a romance manga that uses the tropes of an isekai. There's a bunch of things that happen. She doesn't, kind of chooses to support people in a way that is a big surprise. It looks like she can stop being a maid, but maybe she won't stop being a maid. There's shenanigans afoot. There are big stories that are happening. She's underestimated. There's this romance element. Some of it is very cookie cutter and very basic, but a lot of it is really well thought out and really well paced. The action just picks up like from the jump. There's some catharsis. There is more to do with the goddess that, you know, she made a deal with. I'm not going to get like deep into spoilers because I did read the whole thing, but I will say that it goes in some directions I wasn't expecting, and maybe it doesn't, like, I don't know if it fully like ends up on a high note, but I do think that it's an interesting book. I don't know if we'll see a ooh, did I put this on backwards? I did put this on backwards. How did I do that? I don't think we'll necessarily see a full, like, an anime adaptation of it, but I think it's a really pleasant read. As I said, it is completed. All books available in graphic novel form. So I put this on backwards, and I don't think did I do this part right? So I'm like, do I have to open this all up, or can I slip this and flip it? I think I can flip it. I think I can fix it by just flipping these here. Because that should work. It should work by just popping these out and flipping them over. We'll find out, but I do believe I do think this will work. And if I pop this out and then I put this on the other side. Yeah. Yes, this will work. Okay, great. This is the easiest mistake fix I've had in a very long time. These are weirdly jointed, as you can see, because there is a transformation, because there is like a quote unquote, like, not a flight mode, but there's a bunch of layers to this thing. So we'll get into all that. But yeah, as a manga, I thought it was pretty solid. That's my role as the Villainess is over, and the manga is over, and I enjoyed it. And now, episode 2 of Dan to Dan. I mentioned earlier how this show, this episode had a monster in it that was CGI that I did not enjoy, but overall, I thought this was a fun episode. I'm not going to go through all of the things. I'll give you a brief description in case you missed me talking about episode 1. I'll kind of go through a little bit here for you. Oka Run is our main guy. Oka Run believes in aliens. He did not believe in ghosts. Momo, our female lead, believes in ghosts because her grandmother is a priestess. And she was raised to believe it. She believes that. She does not believe in aliens. This is a point of bickering. Momo is cool and well liked at school. Oka Run is beat up and bullied. They strike up somewhat of a relationship in the first episode, and then things go really bad. They make a bet that they're right and the other one's wrong. Turns out there are aliens and there are also ghosts. Both of them are right. A ghost spirit named Turbo Granny has possessed Oka Run and stolen his banana. And when I say banana, I mean penis. But we're going to call it banana because that's what the show does. His banana has been stolen. And he's also possessed. But Momo has psychic powers, and her psychic powers blossomed in combat against aliens in the first episode. But they escaped. The alien ship crashed. Will there be more aliens? Who knows? Basically, we also learned that Oka Run shares a name with a real-life celebrity named Ken Takakura. And our girl Momo's a big fan, so we start this episode with her mad that his actual real name is that name. And so she says, no, that's not your name. Your name is Oka Run. Don't say your real name to me, which is kind of like that. They just had a really traumatic event, so I will give some slack here. But, like, come on. Let him have his name. It's his name, too. Anyway. They eventually return to, they end up at Momo's home. There is a big torii gate in front of the house. Okarun tries to enter the house, but is lit on fire because Granny put Granny is a different character. The grandmother Momo put up a barrier, and of course he's been possessed, so he can't come in. He gets lit on fire. He has to jump into a pond. She removes the talisman from the gate so he can enter. And she wants to see evidence that his banana is missing. And he confirms it is missing, but does not want to show her that. And there is a long, somewhat comedic, kind of weird, pretty odd back and forth about that. It's a weird bit of banter in an episode that didn't really have a lot of laughs. So sure, okay, but it is strange. Because yeah, Turbo Granny, the spirit, did steal his banana. They talk about this bet that they had made. She talked to him because she's like, I only picked a fight with you because you kept talking to me. And he's like, yeah, I wasn't going to waste the opportunity to talk to you and maybe make a friend. Like, he's like, I get it. We live in different worlds. You probably shouldn't talk to me. And she fucking hates that he thinks so little of himself and jumps to conclusions. And she's like, you probably don't have friends because you push people away immediately, which is like, fucking goddamn. All right, Momo, Jesus. And basically she's like, we can just talk about the occult and stuff and we'll just pretend like everything's fine. They get into an argument. He insults her. There's a doorbell, but it's the spirit doorbell apparently because she removed the talisman so he could enter. Maybe an evil spirit entered. And then there's a big wall that shows up to trap them. And there's a big spirit that shows up that we learn later is called Flatwood's Monster, which Okarun thinks is an alien, but Momo is convinced is a spirit because it is a big man that appears to be a sumo wrestler. And apparently this sumo wrestler also wants Okarun's banana, which maybe at some point we'll learn why so many spirits and the like are obsessed with sex organs, but sure, okay. And then Okarun is like, well, maybe ghosts and demons and spirits are like similar or something, because I'm pretty sure this is an alien. And how would the fuck would he know? She should know better, but whatever. They're gonna fight. Okarun is like, hey, you're blocking Turbo Granny from taking over. Unleash that power. Let me fight. And so they do. We have a transformation from Okarun. It is a slow going transformation. And he is, how do I describe this version of this dude? So he's got like weird extra teeth. He kind of looks like, he's got long white hair. He kind of looks like a weird drawing of Deku's first costume, where Deku had big teeth, like a big teeth mask. That's kind of because he's trying to do All Might's smile, but it doesn't quite look right. That's kind of what Okarun looks like now. It's a pretty cool transformation. Also, I should mention that this transformation comes at a cost, and that cost is the mental stability of Okarun, which is he's basically depressed, and he's saying yo a lot. He's like a mumblecore rapper, I guess, is what they're going for. It's fucking weird. But in this state, he is like depressed and maybe gonna freestyle, but he doesn't. It's bizarre. They realize, wait, this monster is Um, he's fast, but he doesn't have full control over its powers. They realize this monster is a sumo wrestler, so let's do a sumo. Momo gets really hurt. Momo has to fight this monster while also protecting Okarun from being taken over by Turbo Granny and the curse. So it's very tough. They're kind of even, but the monster has more arms suddenly, so that's quote unquote cheating, which I think that's very fun and a very high school thing to be like, oh, you have extra arms, you're a cheater. They get outside the gate and then throw the talisman back on, which destroys the monster or sends the spirit away. Maybe it defeated it, maybe it sent it away. We don't know. The monster disappears and they're celebrating, and then Momo faints because she used so much psychic power that she just recently unlocked. But her fainting means that she is not controlling the curse anymore, and Okarun is now fully being controlled by Turbo Granny, and it ends with him standing over Momo's body, and oh shit, what the fuck? This show is fucking bonkers. It's good bonkers. It's very enjoyable and very weird, and I don't know what's going on in the next episode, but I am intrigued to find out what the fuck they're doing. I'm really liking Dan to Dan. I think that it is pretty fucking wild. Again, I wish that the sumo monster... let me look at my notes. What was it called in my notes? Let me scroll here. Sorry. I do wish that Flatwood's monster was... I do wish that it looked... that it wasn't CGI. I guess that's what I'm saying. Because that was kind of annoying to me. To your friend Pat. But otherwise, Dan to Dan is fucking pretty goddamn sweet. Now is the part of the stream as I continue to work on this. No, Harold, not Dan to Dan Reichert. But no, I think Dan would like the first episode. I don't know if he would watch the whole series, but I think he would. Ghost Valve says, I personally think it tends to get better over time. I think there's only one character that is a miss, but even he gets some love. Yeah, I have heard that, like, hey, this thing builds and changes and moves towards something pretty fucking special. Just you want to please give it some time. And I'm willing and able to do that. Like I said, Thursdays are kind of busy for me, so I probably will be talking about this on Saturdays. We'll see going forward. And Lashberg is tempted to finally read the manga. Yeah, all right. Maybe you should. Yes. Maybe you will want to. I want to just real quick. When does Villainess come up? I've been talking about Villainess. I became the Villainess on Villainous, or I'll become the Villainous. I've been talking about I'll become the Villainous, but when do those shows? When does that come out? That's comes out on the 9th. It's a Wednesday. All right, so I could talk about that on Thursday. So maybe I'm gonna keep talking about Villainous on Thursdays, and I will keep talking about Dan to Dan on Saturday, because my Thursday is tough. Or tough in the way that I can't always know that I'll have time because the show comes out on Thursday. So I don't know if I'll always be able to talk about it, but I always have something. Right now I have one show to talk about every day. I have Ranma 1/2 on Monday, Villainous on Thursday, Dan to Dan on Saturday. Will I stick to that? Probably. I am looking for something else to talk about on Monday because I don't know if I'm actually really legitimately want to go through every single episode of I'm not 100% sold on going through every single episode of Ranma 1/2. I'm going to watch it. I just don't know, because I didn't really review the first episode, but I will probably kind of give a recap of episode 1 and then a deep dive in episode 2 I think that's what I'm going to do going forward. Again, I'm not fully convinced that that's something I want to do, but I would like it. What's this? Doing this. Lord Crashington, I don't know why you do this. It's fine, but I don't know why you post in my Discord during my streams. I just happen to notice in the corner of my eye. Bunch of stuff there. But yes, sorry. I was just like, oh wait, what's going on? I just happened to notice that there was a new post in there. But yeah, sometimes you post during the stream in there, and then I see it after. Just happened to see it during there. But yeah, now's the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I always like to hear from folks about what they're into and what they're playing, what they got going on. I have been I put another like 8-9 hours in it. Oh, God, I'm playing so much. I've put a lot of hours into this goddamn simulator. I didn't play any. I played today. Yes, I played today. I played yesterday. I played Thursday. I played a lot yesterday while watching wrestling. I played a lot of TCG Card Shop Simulator, the full version, because I had to restart because you can't transfer your progress from the prologue, which is free. You should check out, if you liked my stream on Wednesday, you should at least get the prologue and see if it's right for you, but you can't transfer, so I had to restart. But now I've built my store the way I want it to build it. And by that I mean I'm selling a bunch of stuff I want to sell, and then I have storage, so I don't just have to keep throwing boxes around. Like, it's not really good storage. I have a lot of boxes, but I also have some things that are on the shelf that I can pull off the shelf and put where it needs to go. And I really like having that. That has been very helpful for organizing stuff. That's just been good. And yeah, for the most part, I'm still enjoying that. That's been my primary gaming thing lately, has been that. Of course, I'm playing Hearthstone. Always playing Hearthstone daily. It's my daily game. I had a warrior deck I really like, and I've been playing that a lot. And then I was playing this week's Tavern Brawl. I'm trying to play Tavern Brawl more often because they're fun. And this one, the first card you use in any given turn costs 0. And then they cost the normal amount of the mana that you have. And so some people would just do a deck that's full of expensive cards, but then you have nothing else to play, so you do a mix of it. I was playing a pretty fun Paladin deck with a lot of good, like, high-end Paladin cards, and then cards to bring those cards back, and cards to clear the board. I'm still losing because there's a couple decks that are just infinitely stronger than the silly deck that I was doing. But my deck is fun, so I'm winning because of that, because I'm playing a fun deck in that. I mean, once you win once, there's no real good reason to do it unless you have quests to complete. But I'm still having fun with that, so I've been doing that. Sorry, I gotta figure out how this fits together here. So I've been doing a lot of that, and then yeah, reading some stuff. I finished the manga of like today. I actually finished the manga that I covered here. My role as Villainess is over. I realized I was close to finishing it up, so I decided that I would talk about it on the stream, and I'm glad I did, because I like that manga. And then, yeah, I talked about it earlier in the stream, how I'm doing my own version of Power Wash Simulator, which is, of course, Carpet Clean Simulator. Doing that. I did the carpet cleaning for my neighbor, and then, or neighbors, I should say, and then I'll be doing it in this room and in my parents' bedroom tomorrow. I will do their room, vacuum, and then do their room, and then I will be doing my room, which will involve moving a bunch of stuff and setting it up. And then their room will be dry by the time they want to use it tonight to sleep in, or tomorrow night to sleep in. And then my room will not be dry in time, and so I will be sleeping in the office. I have a bed set up in there, but I will set up a version of this computer setup there and do all that. And it will work out just fine. But yeah, first thing when I get up tomorrow, I'll be doing all of that nonsense. Let's see. Ghostfowl says, I personally think it tends to... Oh, no. Ghostfowl says, for myself, Dan is the only anime at the moment. Might pick up Ranma since I haven't watched since college. Hell yeah, you should pick up Ranma. Finished the Shrek Power Simulator pack pretty good and started TCG Shop Simulator because I get influenced easily. Yeah, I have not touched the Shrek DLC. We will be looking at that at the end of the month because that felt kind of Halloween-y to look at that. Halloween-ish. That felt in the spirit. But again, I have not touched that because I have no real connection to Shrek. And so I'm like, okay, I will eventually get to it, but it's not a priority. So we'll be doing that on stream at some point at the end of the month. But yeah, Ghost Valve. Right now, Dan's great. I'm enjoying Ranma. To me, it's a lot of isekai sequels. I watched the first episode of season 2 of Spirit Chronicles because I remember liking the first season, and I still do like the first season. I am very surprised there is a second season. I am watching the third season of ReZero because that show took me a very long time to get into, but once I did, I got really into it. So I'm excited about that. I've been excited to watch that. I have not... Oh, no, sorry. I watched the first episode. I just finished the first episode of Demon Lord Retry R, the sequel to Demon Lord Retry, which I can't recommend to anybody, but I'm watching it. I have not watched any of the new season 3 of Arifureta, because that's not a good show. I just have watched it, and so I will probably eventually finish that up because I am weak-minded. Did I put this together right? Because it doesn't feel good. Well, we'll figure it out. It feels all right. Let's see. What else are y'all writing? I'm also enjoying TCG Shop Simulator, says Harold. Yeah, I think that is a good time. So I'm glad you're also enjoying it. Lastbrook says, Lord Crash says, I watched the first 3 Shrek movies so that I can better know where the PWS jokes are set. My feeling is that the more Smash Mouth in the movie, the better it is. The sequels are all right, but not as good as the original. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to know all the jokes. There are going to be references I don't get. As someone that has watched the first movie and has and kind of remembers the characters sort of, kind of, not particularly. Yeah, I don't have a big huge memory of it. So, hey, where'd the shield go? I can put the shield on. I built the shield. Where did I put the shield? Here it is. Let's put the shield on. We're basically body complete in this kit. We've got the backpack and all that to do. We're gonna keep working on this kit. We'll finish it up on Monday, and then we'll start a knockoff Lego set. I'll tell you right now what the next thing we're building is. It's the A-Team van, but it's the A-Team van done by not a Lego company, a knockoff Lego company. Let me look up the name of this fake-ass Lego. This fake-ass Lego is called... The company that made this is called... Tweenator. Tweenator made the A-Team van. It's Tweenator. Clearly an unlicensed build, but we'll still work on it. All right, I need C6. But yeah, that's the next thing we're working on here. Lastword says, yeah, I'm on day 34 of TCG Simulator. I can't remember what day I'm on because I did restart the whole thing, but I'm into it. I put some hours in. I I haven't played it as much as I did, but I did pick up DB Sparkling Zero, and there are so many systems and mechanics. Yeah, that's a game. I'm trying to find a good stream of that. I missed Austin Creed, aka Xavier Woods. I missed him doing a stream, and I would have liked to do that because I imagine he got some info about it. What with him being a guy that was getting paid to tweet about it, so I feel like if he did a stream, I should check that out, or if he's done a video on it. But I do want to know more about that game, so I would like to see that. Not something I'm going to pick up, but I would like to learn more about it. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. We have not used F that much. We are going to build our little flying cockpit thing here. We're going to put that together. Aristophan is 15 hours into Metaphor Refantasio. What a goddamn good name. Metaphor Refantasio is such a good, nonsense, weird collection of English words video game name. Goddamn, I'm so goddamn impressed by that. I have finished the first major dungeon and the world is opening up. Yes, I believe someone said that it was like, yeah, the intro doesn't do a great job of telling you how awesome the game is, but once you're through the intro, it really opens up. It's like 7 hours, and then like it really kicks ass after that. And I was like, oh, well, I hope people fucking stick with it, because I do know people that really fucking like it. But goddamn, that sounds like a investment in time and energy. Lord Crashton says, I got Metaphor Refantasio. Which is cool and very much like a reskinned Persona. Yeah, it sounds like it's more Persona than like Devil Summoner, but still has got some stuff going on in it that's interesting and unique. Yeah, I don't necessarily think I'm gonna pick that up for myself, but I do want to get a. Eventually, I might get it, but right now, probably not. Probably not at the moment, but it does sound fucking cool, and I am glad that people are liking it. I mean, I'm always glad. I mean, I'm sometimes glad when people like things that there's no way I would like, you know, because it's hard out there. If you can find a video game you're enjoying, you get some entertainment out of that. That's the thing you can do. Hell yeah, I'm always up for that. All right, we got this really tiny thing here, which we will start the panel line now and. Probably finish panel lining. Well, maybe we finish panel lining here. But yeah, we got our little flight. This will be able to connect with the backpack eventually, which is fun. Oh, I should probably panel line this now. I don't know why I'm going to do all these details, but I do like doing panel lining. So we will do that. We will hit this and make it look good. And lots of in-world racism. Oh, that's... Huh. Lord Crashton, is that part of the plot, or is that just casual racism, or is that like, oh yeah, there's like downtrodden people, and that's like a major plot point, or if it's just like, I don't know, we decided that would be fun to just make that a cool part of the game. Weird. It's just a weird thing to say. Spend most of the day picking through achievements, says Dirty. I hadn't completed in Power Wash Simulator while finishing the Alice in Wonderland DLC. The Alice in Wonderland DLC is really fun. I don't hunt for achievements in that game. I did get the one where you try to escape by climbing up the ladder when you come in one of the stages in Alice, and that's not a thing that I was like hunting to find. I just happened to do it. You're starting the Shrek stuff, probably not going to get Metaphor this year. I am stoked that MW5 Clans is coming to Game Pass day one release on Wednesday, so I'll play that for sure. Hell yeah. Mech Warrior 5, Clans, hell yeah. Enjoy that, Dirty. Aristophan says, racism is a major part of the story. Okay. The characters are fighting against it. Great. It's just, Lord Crashington, without any other context, just said... I got Metaphor Refantasio, which is cool and very much like a reskinned Persona, and lots of in-world racism. And I was like, oh, Say more. And now Lord Crash has also said more. The people in this world are from 8 major tribes, and the main character is from a shunned 9th tribe, and the kingdom's religion refuses to acknowledge. Okay, great. That's context that I can use. Because, yeah, without any context, it was just like, oh, hell yeah, it's a reskinned Persona with racism. And I was like, wait, what? What the fuck? So, great. Context. Appreciated. Good. Excellent. Thank you. Context is important. Context is key. Consent is king, and context is key. Those are big lessons for today. And everybody wants Oda runs banana. That's another thing we learned today. Yeah, we should do that at the end of every stream now. No, I don't think we will. We won't do life lessons. One studio can become 4 studios very easily. We learned that. Waypoint is back, in quotes, and sarcastically. And Remap is still around. And check out Remap Radio. And various other things in their streams and all that. We did raid on Thursday Patrick Klepek, who is doing some Halloween streams, some horror stuff. So that was really fun, even if he was playing a game that I absolutely loathed and didn't want to look at. But it was fun to raid Patrick. That was just nice. It was a nice bit of business. I was happy about that. Made me happy to go give him a raid. Racism is bad. Indeed. Just bite Jan's lessons segments from the end of the Bombcast. Yeah. Yes. Life lessons. No. I honestly think a recap is kind of fun because I do that in my my messages out when I promote that the archive is up, the second day archive. I like to say what happened in the episode. Like, I talk about a manga that I finished and enjoyed, and we'll talk about a banana and a missing banana and Dan and while working on this kit and all that. We're body complete on this kit. We still have the backpack and the big ass swords. I thought we were going to build some swords today. We did not get to the swords. So no swords yet, but the swords are coming. And the swords have big stickers on them, so I'm maybe glad we didn't get to them right now. But we got to build a backpack that also connects to the back of this thing. And then we got to build some big ass swords that unfortunately are the majority of our stickers for this kit are the blue stickers that go on these swords. But they'll still look good. They'll still be good and cool. It's just that they require a bunch of stickers. And then we can put this all together and call it a fucking stream. Which is going to be cool. But we did get a lot of progress done on our kit. It's just that we're not completely done here. I think I'm going to wrap things up because I do have to do some amount of work of uploading video stuff and then shutting this computer down and getting ready to move it into another room for tomorrow and then move it back because I do have work to do tomorrow night on this computer. So we're probably going to wrap things up here. But, of course, I don't just say goodbye and we leave. We end every stream around here with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing something cool tonight and go hang out with them. Let's see who's doing stuff that we can go and send a little love with them and see what they're up to. PAX Australia is happening, so there's some stuff happening there, but I don't think we're going to go raid any PAX things because I don't know what's happening on them. I could have looked ahead, and I didn't, and that's on me. I didn't look ahead to see what was going on in the world of PAX Australia, PAX Ausks. Let's see. What is this friend playing? Liz is here streaming. We raid Liz a lot on Saturdays, it seems like, because Liz streams on Saturdays, and it's a good time. But Liz is playing retro achievement hunting. going through a bunch of retro games, hunting achievements, which is fun. So we're going to go give Liz a raid. Liz Star, who is awesome. I hope you come along on this raid. And I hope you will come back on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern as I finish this kit and then I start a knockoff Lego set. And that should be fucking fun. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. We'll have Wrestle Talk on Monday and a bunch of other stuff to chat about, and a manga and an anime, or maybe two anime. But we'll talk soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.